Hello, this is Elizabeth with In Creative Solutions, and I'm coming in to you today after a little shopping trip. And I know that I'm not the only person on the internet who loves to watch other people break out their brand new stationery supplies. And I certainly know I'm not the only person who likes to see what they actually look like before I go out and buy my own. So today I have a few things. I have a couple of journals because it's almost 2019 and I couldn't decide which kind of journal I wanted to start for the new year. So I have some moleskin plain paper. These are pretty small. I've got a dot grid journal. It's called a dot grid essential notebook, and it looks like it's meant for bullet journaling for sure. It's totally one of the like store brand cheapy ones, so I'm kind of excited because it wasn't as expensive as most of the other ones I buy. And then I've got a slightly larger one. I wanted to give that a shot, and I don't know what I'm going to use yet. This is also a dotted paper. This is a dotted paper, and then this is, like I said, just a plain one. And then I've got my trusty giant book of all the things, just to kind of give another perspective of paper of how they respond. I'm not sure if this one will be similar to this one or if they'll be very different papers, but this one you can see I've kind of played with. I'm trying to learn some calligraphy in it and it's not going too well. But this is a thicker kind of sketchbook paper. You couldn't like paint on it, and so it'll be interesting to see how the markers and pens I've got today fare with this, if they bleed through or if they're pretty good. So those are the journals I'm going to be writing in. And then over here, I've got, I'm not going to do all of these today. I've got a few sets of pens. I've got the Sharpie collection, limited edition. I've got the Mr. Sketch scented limited edition. I don't know if anybody else out there watching is a teacher, but for me as a teacher, like if my anchor charts that I write don't smell like something edible, I don't think I've done them right. So those are kind of like the mixed packs. Those are what I'm planning to do today. And then I have some new gel pens because honestly, if it's not in a rainbow of colors, it's not worth looking at again for my notes and my planning, and I color code all the things. I've also got the Crayola detailing gel pens because I wanted to try these out, and they glitter. They have glitter pens. And then just like yesterday, I found a pack of 22 scented Mr. Sketch markers, which I'm pretty sure usually I see like a 12 pack. So I was super stoked to see a set of 22, and I can't wait to get into these as well. Like I said, I think we're going to actually start with the combo packs for Sharpie and Mr. Sketch, just because those are my big boys and those are kind of the most fun. So let's get into some of these journal packs so we have some paper to write on. These are just, I just use these little safety scissors. They're for like cutting kids' nails and stuff, because when I'm not a teacher, I'm a mom. And when I'm not a mom, I'm trying to set out into the world to make things better for people who struggle with things that I struggle with. So apparently the moleskin journals have a ruler inside of them with like this angle thing. This is pretty cool. I had no idea it was there. I hold on to that. So I'm going to bought one of these moleskin journals. Oh, and they have a pocket. That's pretty cool. I suddenly don't feel so bad about how much I paid for these. So there's that one. And let's get into this little boy here. This bright lime green, very, very fluorescent journal. I love these ones that have this elastic on them, because then I feel like I don't have stuff falling into them and ruining the journal paper all the time. All right, there's the elastic. And this is definitely meant for bullet journaling, and you can kind of see like it has the spot for your key of like what symbols mean what, your name and contact information, and then a couple pages of index. So it definitely feels like, oh, and the pages are actually already numbered. Holy moly. How cool is that? I have not had a numbered journal yet before. So we've got it looks like 4 pages of index, and then from page 6 to 240, we've got dots. I might actually end up using this one. I like that. The cover is not, you can already see some damage on the cover just from probably being thrown around in the bag, because that's what happens when you go shopping with 2 little boys. All right, and then last journal that we're opening is this Artist Loft. This is a pretty flimsy cover, but it's bigger, which I always feel like I never have enough room. And then when I have a bigger journal, I always am like, it takes up too much space. So we'll see. We'll see what I think. All right. So then I thought this color was beautiful. This one has 2 bookmarks. This one, I forgot to mention, does have a bookmark as well. It just has the single bookmark in the same color. This one has the elastic to keep it closed, and it also has 2 bookmarks for whatever you're marking. All right, and just kind of looking at the paper, so this is a pretty thick paper, but still, when I shine the light on it, I can definitely see my hand through it. I'm not sure if you guys can see that at all. This one, let's see, isn't as white. It's definitely got a more cream color, but it's about, oh, that's 2 pages. It's definitely thinner. I was about to say it's about the same thickness, but I was holding 2. It's definitely quite a bit thinner than the Artist Loft brand. And then the Moleskin is also a creamier texture, and it's a pretty thin paper as well. So I think that these 2 are definitely thinner. And then this one, from what I can tell, my big boy over here is probably going to be the thickest paper by a long shot. All right, so let's get into the colors. So we've got our journals that we're going to try them out on. And get this cut open. So this is the Mr. Sketch combo pack. Before I open it up, let's look at what's inside of it. It has 6 Intergalactic scents, chisel and sticks. It's got 6 scents. It's got 8 twistable crayons in 8 different scents. One of them being chimney, and one of them being stinky cheese, which I'll be honest, a little nervous about smelling. And then 6 gel crayons. So, well, this will be interesting. Here's the front cover of that. 36 pieces plus a coloring book, 12 chisel markers, 10 sticks markers, 8 twistable crayons, 6 gel crayons, and 1 coloring book. So, let's see what were those Intergalactic scents. So, to the Intergalactic scents we have Rotten Melon Alien News, Galactic Fruit Punch, Black Raspberry Moon Rocks, Pineapple Shooting Star, Smoky Cinnamon Rocket Fuel, Cosmic Pink Lemonade. I'm not really sure how I feel about any of those smells, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so here's our set. Here's our Mr. Sketch coloring book. The box goes to the abyss behind me, which is a little scary. Let's explore the Mr. Sketch factory. So just to give you a quick sneak peek of the coloring book. Although, I'll be honest, I've never bought Mr. Sketch markers to color with, only for chart paper, to be honest. Although I'm sure they're fun to color with. All right, we'll set that aside. All right, let's get into what we have in here. There's actually 2 layers. One very full layer and one not so full layer. I've got some neon Mr. Sketch down here. And some of our chisel tips and our twistable crayons. And then I think that these are going to be those gel, now that I threw the box away, those gel crayons. So it looks like these are the twistable crayons, these are the gel crayons, these are the regular markers, and the chisel tip markers. All right, so that's what we got. Well, those came out pretty easy at least. Hopefully they don't go all flying off the desk. I'm excited to have these unboxed and going because even if I'm not a huge fan of some of the galactic scents of rotten chimney cheese or whatever, I'm pretty sure my first and second grade students will be. So, and you know, anything I can get them to engage with our anchor charts a little bit more is good with me. So if making them smell like stinky cheese is going to get them up there looking at them, I'm game. Lost a marker. One sec. Oh, there we go. So here are our gel crayons. I'm really interested to get into those and see what a gel crayon actually is. Hope you guys can actually see these up here. I'm pretty sure my camera goes that high. Let's just double check. Yep, beautiful. We'll scoot that a tiny bit further. And look at that. We've got all of the different pens. And then we'll start off with these fabulous twist crayons. All right, let's swatch. Let's start with our moleskin journal. And if I can find one that works, we'll do a pen instead of a mechanical pencil. So these are our Mr. Sketch crayons. Now, despite being a teacher for first and second grade, I don't have great handwriting. I try. And I've worked really hard to have the handwriting I do. So forgive me if it does not come out beautiful most of the time. All right. I'm not sure if these are actually scented. Oh, they're definitely scented. It doesn't matter being able to figure out which one's which. I wonder if they smell better when you write. So let's start with some blue. They don't have names on them. So there's a blue. Blue-green, I suppose. They're very smooth. They definitely feel like a crayon. A little nicer than maybe a Crayola. Some green. Pretty purple. They stay up really well. I've had twistable crayons in the past that when you would color with them, they'd push back down. These definitely do not push back down. There's some pink. Our red. A bit of orange. And last but not least, our black. Oh, I'm sorry, gray. That's not a very black. Black. It's a very gray black. All right. Make sure you guys can see these really well. They definitely gather a little bit of crayon dust up there. But, I mean, they're pretty colors. And let's have a sniff test. They definitely smell. I'm not sure if I can tell what they smell like I can with the markers, but they definitely smell. As far as seeing through, like you can kind of see the color, but they don't really bleed. This is pretty thin paper though. All right. Twistable crayons. Done. So we move on to the gel crayons. I'm dying to see what a gel crayon from Mr. Sketch actually is like. So, Mr. Sketch Gel crayons. Let's see if we can keep them sort of in the same color order. So we'll start with the blue. Oh, look at that monster. That's a beast of a nib right there. Oh, and they twist. But apparently only one direction. So don't twist them unless you're ready for them to twist to have them. Oh, wow. Okay, this is just amazing. Like, it feels like I don't even hardly need to touch the paper to, like, lay the color down. It just feels amazing. Like it's almost like lipstick. Like, I don't know if anybody else has ever drawn with lipstick. Maybe that's just me. But it feels like I'm drawing with lipstick. And it definitely has a bigger scent than the last one. All right. Next I have some green on here. Wow, these are so smooth. And that, yeah, like I said, they have a much bigger scent as well. Just smelling the crayon, I definitely am more likely to be able to tell what the scent is. And then, oh, the paper is even more so. All right. I believe we have some purple. Can't miss the purple. That almost looks like a shade of lipstick too. I didn't notice this on the other one, but I noticed on this one that it kind of bunches up on the edges. So as I'm coloring, you can see kind of the lines, the streaks of where I'm coloring on that one. All right, some red. Yeah, like I said, I'm normally one to push pretty hard because I've always pushed really hard on my crayons and my pens and my pencils. But these you can just barely touch the paper and you've got just a ton of color down. So I'm trying really hard not to push so hard. Barely touching the paper. And they're little, I'm not sure when I would ever use these because they're so fat, but they're a little addictive because they're just like, it's like silk. And they're so vibrant. And smelly. Because, you know, that's what you look for in a Mr. Sketch. Alright, let's get a little close up. Alright, so here are the gel pens. You can really see what I'm talking about with this one, with that streaking. I did better with the orange on being really light-handed, though. And you don't see quite as much of it. If we had smell-o-vision, you'd be, like, overwhelmed by the mixture of scents. I'm sure. These ones do have, like, a little bit of it's not an aftertaste. It's an aftertaste for your nose. An after scent. All right. So, 2 down, 2 to go. We'll scoot these this way. Let's take a peek at the back. So this is the back side. Again, you can definitely see that through. So if you were going to use, honestly, if you wanted to use one of these moleskin journals for bullet journaling, you might be limited to pencil. If you wanted to use both sides of the page. Because you can definitely see the color pretty clearly through. But it doesn't bleed on the other side at all. So we're just going to flip the page and take our markers for a run on these. So we're going to start with the sticks. So these are the sticks are the smaller ones. So we'll do some Mr. Sketch. Sticks. All right. I'm going to try to remember the color order I did before to, you know, be consistent for y'all. I love the markers because you can definitely smell the markers. A little bit of square there. So some blue. that's a blueberry, I believe. Smells blueberry to me. What was this light blue one, though? I don't know. It's a sweet scent. Oh, this is one of the galactic ones. Let's see if I can figure it out on the box. Here's our box. So it looks like galactic fruit punch, which would make sense because it's like a sweet fruity smell, but I can't really tell what. All right, some purple. Hang on. I have to check now because I think I might have gone green first. I did go green first. I'm glad I checked. You've got to be consistent, you know. Green and then purple. Clearly not following the color wheel or anything. So there's some green. This is another galactic one. It smells tropical to me. Let's see what it is. It is rotten melon alien zoos. Well, luckily it smells like melon and not rotting. It actually smells really good. It's a very fresh smell. All right, so then we go into our purple, which is another galactic scent. I think the galactic scents are more faint than the regular scents because, like, the blueberry hit me really hard, and all the galactic ones I have to smell a couple times. All right, so purple is black raspberry moon rocks. I'm sure it's hard to smell, though. This one just doesn't have a very big scent to it. It's very, very faint. Okay. So then we went from purple, we went to pink. I think I just drew on my nose. I don't know if anybody else does that when they're smelling their markers, because I'm sure so many people smell markers. But I smell my markers, especially when it's Mr. Sketch. So now I have a pink nose and Cosmic Pink Lemonade. It's really faint. I just am not thrilled with how fragrant the galactic scents are. Oh, this is cherry. So this is just a regular scented marker, scented Mr. Sketch marker, not a special galactic scent. Definitely cherry, no doubt. All right, so then we have two oranges. I'm going to show you guys these. They look pretty well identical to me. We'll see if they're a different color or if they're just different scents. So we'll start with the regular one first, which smells like orange. Yep. That is an orange smell right there. Not like orange juice, though. Like the candy slices. Like the candy orange slices. That's what I think it smells like anyways. Ooh. What is that? That is got like a black licorice to it or something. Oh, it's got a strong smell. It's got cinnamon. That's what it is. So this is smoky cinnamon rocket fuel. It's got some cinnamon. It's got a kick to it. And I'm pretty sure these are the exact same color, which is kind of disappointing. You could have thought like they could have made it a shade different, but that's okay. And this is, I have no idea. Pineapple. Pineapple shooting star. You'd think you'd be able to smell pineapple. Maybe a little bit. But definitely not the most scented marker in the bunch. And last but not least, traditional scented black licorice. I love black licorice. I know a lot of people don't love black licorice. I really like black licorice. I really like the smell of it too. All right, let's see how these guys did on an up close and personal level. My uneven boxes. Yeah, I just really don't think there's any difference between those two oranges, except for that one smells like cinnamon. All right, so if we flip over, you can again definitely see the color through the page, but I'm impressed to see there's no visible bleeding. Only me pressing too hard when I write. All right, so we have one more set to look at, and I think we'll call it a day. And we'll look at our chisel tips. All right. I don't know what to call these. Mr. Sketch Chisel. All right. I think we have the same color set. I'm looking at it and I'm pretty sure it's the same set of colors. So this is our blue in Galactic, which is like a, oh, it's that fruit punch smell. Yeah, it's that fruity tooty. And then blueberry. And then our bright neon green. This is that melon. Oh, it's a lot stronger on this one. That's kind of nice. I really like that melon scent too. So there's our melon scent. We have a dark green in our chisel tip. We did not have a dark green in our sticks. This is apple. And then we have our purple. Oh, that was the raspberry. The chisel tips have a stronger scent in general than the sticks. So if it was really hard to smell before, I'm getting a little more of it this time around. And we have 2 shades of pink this time. I think we'll start with the darker pink, which is our pink lemonade. I still can't smell it on this one. And then the lighter pink, raspberry. I think that's raspberry. Let's take a look. Yep, it's raspberry. Because, you know, sometimes you just forget. So this is our traditional raspberry. It looks a little bit... I thought I started with the darker one. Apparently I started with the lighter one. I don't know. I would have thought that would have been darker. But it's brighter. And this one's a little more purpley muted. Okay, on to the red, which is my favorite cherry. And then last time we started with the traditional orange first, which smells traditionally like an orange. And then the Galactic orange, which was the cinnamon. I'm a little nervous, actually. Oh, it's even stronger. If you can't tell, I'm not a big cinnamon fan. And then our Galactic scented yellow. Oh, this one actually really smells like pineapple. It's really nice. I like pineapple a lot. I think it's a great scent. And then my favorite, black licorice. And there's our Mr. Sticks chisel set. All right. So you have your big broad strokes, which is probably what I use the most. And then your fine lines for if you want to make little notes on your anchor chart. I almost thought right after I put them down that maybe these oranges were a little different, but I've changed my mind. I think they're exactly the same. Our blue, green, we have an extra green in here. I do like that the colors between the chisel and the sticks are fairly consistent. So if I wanted to go back and forth on my anchor chart between little marker and big marker, I don't look like I'm using new colors. All right, let's see how they fare on the other side. They didn't bleed through, but you can definitely see the ink seeping through to the back. But I don't have any bleeding just yet. So, all right. So that's it for my Mr. Sketch combo pack on the plain moleskin journal. Oh yeah. Let's get that back on there so you can see. So that's what we got. Fun stuff. Well, thanks for joining me. It was great to have you. If you enjoyed my video, like, subscribe, enjoy some of the other ones. There will be more up. Every time there's a break in school, you'll see more pop up. In the meantime, I don't post regularly because I do teach 1st and 2nd grade, and that's a full-time job. Plus, I'm a mom of 2 boys, which could be a full-time job in and of itself. So between the two, I'll see you at the next break. Thanks. Bye-bye.